$13.2 million positive trust fund balance is that we hadn't reasonably spent a nickel in 19 years. There were significant identified needs that we just, for whatever reason, were reluctant to
kick down the road, as I think Mr. Krause had said in the past, right? Before they were handed to you, someone kicked them down the road.
So again, I'd like to just reinforce my comment so that it's not misunderstood.
Sure.
I'm not minimizing this issue. I think Patty is doing, from what I can see and hear, a good job of identifying this particular problem, and that the issue that we collectively have to work on is, you know, how do we address this, and how do we make sure that it never occurs again? But
to your answer, the $52.5 million need.
And Mr. Bradley, that's just a casual recollection that goes back.
You're correct. It was in the feasibility study. It's not supposed to be casual. It was physically documented and written down. Of the $52.5 million need that this district had.
And please don't quote me on.
We don't have to.
Don't quote me on that figure.
That's fine.
But the need was significant. We were actually confused by that trust fund balance.
It was amazing. And then the reality is, this district chose to have and incur for that need upon the backs of those individuals $100 million liability.
That's not so.
That is true.
No.
Yes, sir. We have that on the report. I can give it to you if you'd like.
What this board did, Mr. Bradley, was to positively affect this community for years to come.
But it spent our children's future doing it.
I don't believe so. I think what we did versus some other districts, and I'll name one, like Panther Valley.
How about Tamaco?
I think we protected our tax base. With the advent of that hospital and the attractiveness of putting our kids into these schools, they're going to come here. Franklin's going to explode with professional people that will add to our tax base.
But what about why are we having so many kids move to charter schools? And to the fact that our district is now considering creating their own.
That takes a smarter mind than mine.
Mr. Bradley, for someone who understands everything, we've had this law here for 4 or 5 years. So we're not creating our own.
Okay.
6 years?
Yeah.
I think the past boards were completely financially devoid of their responsibility. They overtaxed the community. The seniors moved out of the area. The tax base was abused by the decisions of this board. And the ability to have $13 million of cash in a fund balance and schools that had safety issues for our children that were not taken care of was a mistake.
But again, Mr. Brown, in my recollection, that was not from overtaxing. That was from an inability to make decisions to improve.
Anytime you take in more money than you consume, it's an overtaxation. You should have given it back rather than leaving it in a fund, sitting in cash, to not repair the schools. And there was a feasibility study, and I don't know exactly when you were on the board, but there was a feasibility study done in 2011, and then the same study was done by the same organization, so there was no discrepancy in their ability to do the same job in 2014, and both reports were reviewed by this board. Some were and some were not read, and they had required safety items to be performed to our district schools, and they were ignored for those years. And not only did they not do the required safety items in those 3 years that were available to them, but the fund balance was then consumed on non-safety items for our students. And at that time, in both those meetings, in the 2011 and the 2014 study, they had a task force that included individuals within this community that said to keep those local, safe, debt-free elementary schools open that attracts people to the community, not a center. Thank you.
Mr. Bradley, if you don't have specifics on what was repaired and what was not done.
I do. They were listed in the report.
I would like to actually see them.
Gloria, why did you vote on something you didn't read yet?
I've seen it. I've seen most of the feasibility. I have seen it, David. I have seen it.
Did you pass something you didn't read yet?
I'm not answering questions, Dave.
Larry,
No comment.
why did you pass something
Well,
you
no
didn't
comment,
pass?
Mr. Bradley. No comment.
Because I was the principal
You
for
can,
many years.
I agree, you can download
And
them.
I know BHA is having issues with Mahoney. I know East Penn has issues with the Schleikers being able to build. So let's talk about the schools and what the real issues were, which the board did not want to address. And I am
But they had- but they
I'm not
had-
getting a debate with you.
But, okay, but you can, the information that I got, because it's published on the district website, 2011, there was a report with required repairs, safety, and then 2014, there's a report for required repair, safety, and they are identical, they were not
And
performed.
we were past.
Yeah, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half at another meeting, 2 hours, and have heard little discussion on how we're going to close the gap, how much we need to make sure the bills are paid as far as pushing, because when the money's come in, you have bills that are paid all year long, but your tax money comes in at a certain time of year. So what is that fund balance that we need for cash flow, and how are we going to close the gap moving
But
forward?
Mr. Krause, even you would admit that without the detailed report from our business manager, it would be premature to assign information without data. I mean, you have to have some.
How do you suggest closing the gap?
By looking at the data first.
Expenses or increased taxes?
Or looking at the data and removing this discrepancy that was discovered, that after discussing it with the
We've
past
already
business
been through
manager,
that, it's been explained.
You don't know
How
that
are
it's-
how are you going to do it?
you did not verify that it is missing. And
There's
that
nothing missing, it was an accounting.
it was not.
The issue.
So the point is, you did not verify it. I verified that it's not missing. Thank you.
We, at this point, is there any other comments from the public?
I have a question. Is the budget, there was a thing in the Times News today, the budget is available here. Is the budget going to be available online?
I have to double check to see if that is.
We can scan the current proposed up on the website.
Okay, just be easier than, right.
To take advantage of the opportunity of our citizens to help us with this problem, since it's their pockets that this board is trying to take the money from if they make a mistake, can we please publish that detailed report as well, Patricia? Onto the web? Thank you.